Okay, here's what we're going to do for part 3 paper mockup. So after I show you the part 2 for page styling, you print out printing. They will look like this. This is what you need. Blade, good, sturdy, durable blade. Okay, so I have a metal blade. Okay, not the flimsy plastic. And for me, I like to have this kind of 30 angle blade, if you can see. And it's very sharp. Okay, no rusty. All right, rusty is not a sharp blade. Sometimes the tip is kind of blunt, so what you can do is you can break off the tip. Okay, so like this. So once I break it off, it is a sharp point now. Okay, so that you can have a clean cut. Scissors, metal ruler is the best, heavy one. Get a stainless steel rather than an aluminium. Double side tape and a pin. Yeah, also glue. All right, just in case if you need it. The pin is for scoring. Usually I get a blunt edge sturdy material that I can press on. Okay, scoring, I have a bigger pin here. Okay, so let's start. What I'm having here is the printout of the packaging, and I have it in several parts. This 198 is at the base, right? So I'm gonna start with this base, and if you notice, I printed extra. I overlap using the shapes. So sometimes I see what I have, then I have extra, then I will cut it off. So you need to see carefully lah, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have parts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pieces. Okay, so here's I'm going to demo how to cut. Let me put this aside. I'm gonna cut out the center one here first. Okay. Always have a clean cut. Get it correctly. Make sure your blade doesn't move. That's why you need a heavy sturdy blade. Ruler doesn't move. Very sharp blade. One stroke enough. Cut it off. Clean cut. Okay, don't have to go multiple times. So like that. Cut. Okay. I want this centerpiece lah. Why I'm cutting it out? Because I've printed extra. Okay. So if you notice, when I split it up during my printing, I kind of like duplicate extra so that when I cut, I can decide how I want it to be. The reason why I doing this is because this is the base, and I have the side piece on each area. Okay, and that is nicer because every page tiling will be at the bottom. No one's going to see what is happening at the bottom. Okay, so I have attachment here, attachment here, attachment here, so you don't really see the edges that you're going to paste. Okay, so one example is this. Okay, so let me work on this. Before I cut anything, we need to do scoring. Scoring, the purpose is for easy folding. If like this, you start folding, you will have a very rough edges, and the packaging turns very ugly. Okay, so what we're going to do here, you're just going to run across the place that you're going to fold. Okay, with a pin. Anything blunt and sturdy, that will be good. So this is how I'm doing it. Okay, it's just my habit to use the pin. Sometimes some website or internet teach to use the back of the blade here, right? This is the sharp point, this is the back. But I don't really use the back of the blade because it hurt my paper. And then when I fold, it kind of like tear. Okay, so I don't use back of the blade. So I use blunt object. Okay, then my paper won't tear. And then when I fold, it won't be cracked. The paper won't crack. Okay, because I'm not hurting my paper. I'm just putting. If you touch it, you will feel it on the area you score. Okay, so that's how I feel whether which area I'm scored or not. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little bit up close. I'm not so sure you can see it. If you see area that I score extra, there is some sort of like a line due to my hard scoring. Okay, that's extra. Okay, so those are the scoring line. So here, okay, one more here. So when I print, I will make sure I have extra space here for me to put my tape. Okay, when I put my tape, and then I can stick on. If I don't have the extra space, then there's no place for me to place the tape. So that's why usually I print, I make sure I don't touch the edge. So that will give me some space for the tape. Okay, so here we go. I'm not going to tape the whole long strands because this part will continue the other end, right? So I will have another part here, but I'm just going to tape it at this spot only. Okay, later I'm going to cut it out. So have a look. Okay, so this part, I don't need. Okay. Yeah. So this is the place, okay, that I'm gonna paste. So anything that I paste is a fold line, and it is hidden underneath. This will be the bottom. This is the base. Okay. Then you won't see anywhere that I actually pasting or tiling. Okay. So let me cut this up. You can always see I cut it in a nice clean cut. Like that. Just one stroke. And this is, yeah, I haven't mentioned, this is art cut or ivory cut lah, ivory cut. So this is about close to 220 GSM. Okay, so this is a cut, you know, not a normal paper, not A4 paper. So you can also see that my blade, one cut go through. That's how you have a nice clean cut. Okay, and you will always see me keep rotating my paper. Of course, I'm a left-hander, so I will need to rotate my paper. But the main thing is I'm using my ruler to protect my artwork, and the area that I don't want, I will just cut it. Okay. So surely there are some little points that not needed, like this. I'm not using my blade, that's why I have my scissors. Okay, small tiny points, you can use your scissors. So this is the one. Surely after scoring, it is much easier to fold. Okay, but I'm still going to use my ruler on top of it so that I can minimize any kind of fold. As less abrasion as possible, as less touch as possible. Like this, press once, settle. Don't keep touching, then it will tear, okay? Or the paper will, the edges will crack, okay? So that's why I like ivory paper. Ivory paper crack lesser. The best paper that you can use at home is use drawing paper to print, okay? I believe at home you all have drawing paper. It would be good if you all can buy drawing paper A3 size at 200 GSM. It is very nice for printing. I have a stack of it at home all the time for me to do this kind of printing job. And also, you know, if you have A4 printer, then you just cut the A3 to half lah. Just nice. If you notice here, I'm just printing an empty frame, you know, just an outline only. I don't print the full color of everything. Why waste my ink at home, right? I'm gonna do this as a mock-up photo shoot and do my Photoshop mock-up, okay? So don't have to print it in full color. Anyway, if you print it in full color, your home printer is not gonna have the nice quality, okay? Waste ink and poor quality, so no point. And now, if you see here, I'm folding everything inwards, okay? When I fold everything inward, this is going to be hidden. All my black line is going to be hidden. So turn out outside clean, no any line. So this is the good trick lah. When I want to print this testing mock-up. But if I print it in full color, you're not going to fold inward already, because if this is your printing, then you need to hide all your lines, no lines, and then you need to, you know, fold the other way around. So no point printing color, okay? So let's just print the black and white frame line. You just want the structure of it, okay? So this is one of the parts. So I'm going to paste it here, okay? So far it is about pasting and cutting, okay? So pasting, I put my double side tape here already. Don't tear out the whole thing, okay? If you tear out the whole thing, it's very hard to align, and then if you misalign, then it's very hard to remove, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just going to remove a slight edge, okay? Just small edge like this. So if you notice, every time I do this, you will realize this is much easier. Okay, I'm gonna reduce. If I take out the whole tape, it's very hard for me to align. So I'm gonna align like this, just in case if I have mistake. Okay, I still can take it out because it's not fully stick on yet. Okay, so measure, fix the position here at the corner. I press a bit because those are the place I remove the tape. Okay, and remove the whole paper. Then only I press on. So you see, it is nice, clean sticking. Okay, no crumpling, no misalignment. Okay, so this is one of the parts. I've cut and fold several parts already. So now I'm gonna paste. So I have it here. So remember there are 4 parts, right? So now I'm gonna take care whether it's a wider area or shorter area. So this goes to here, this hits here, and this is here. Okay, so let me start pasting. Okay, same. I remove part of the sticker. Okay, remove part of the sticker. Align. Make sure the alignment is nicely done. Then only I press, okay, press the corners, okay, and then only I pull out the tape. Okay, so once I pull it out, I can put my energy. So if you see, I fold, okay, just to show you a sample. I don't really see much of the tiling because it's at the bottom. By the way, we are not going to photo shoot or we're not going to display the bottom of the box, so it's fine. We don't see it anywhere it's being tiled. Okay, no pasting here. Okay, so that is the trick. All right, let me finish up this view. I'll show you how I join this later. Again, tear partial, alignment. Okay, press the corner, then I take out the tape, then I continue to press. So there's no trap air, no crumpling. Okay, it is nice and flat, no misalignment. So this is how you do nice mock-up. Mock-up is hand craftsmanship. Okay, and hand craftsmanship comes with a skill and technique. That's why I record this video. Even a simple cut and paste paper, yes, there is also a lot of technical skills. Okay, skills. Okay, take this out, nice and clean. Okay, so now I have my mock-up. Alright, so this is how I do tiling. Even though the paper size, the whole thing, it is much bigger than A4, but I print it in small piece of A4 and I place it together, I get this box. Okay, so I have this thing very tricky now. Okay, technically I don't need to have dual, you see it's 2 times. If I want to continue to fold it in, yeah, actually there's no problem because it's still hidden. Let me try, show you. Here, yeah, this one should overlap here. This one should overlap here. There it goes, inside. Okay. And this one will come down. Technically no issue because everything is hidden. Even though if I don't cut it, it doesn't make a big difference for now. But the issue is it's going to be quite bulky. Okay, you will see it's quite thick by the side. Okay? Because there are a couple of layers inside. Okay, quite thick. So yeah, I'm going to cut it away. So you just need to know which part you're cutting it away. Okay, so let's just say if I cut this part, okay, then I just make sure I'm going to glue it on. Okay. So I'm not going to leave this up to the end also, because if I leave it up to the end and I fold it, it's going to see, you know, I can see this flap coming out, right? Not looking good. So 2 part also I'm going to cut. So you see I'm going to cut this part, but here I'm going to cut somewhere. Okay, so something like this. And this part. So you will see this will be the extra area that I'm going to, for my glue. Okay, for my glue to happen. So here, cut it up. So I'll show you again, like this. Can you see it? This is my where I'm gonna apply glue later. Okay, then it is full inside. Okay, so I'm gonna do for the rest in a similar way. Get the top one, cut it off. You can use scissors or you can use blade. Surely you need to handle blade with care lah. one extra. Well, I'm not gonna measure or care about how much I cut as long as I have some space for the glue later, isn't it? Okay. Because the front part is easier if I use blade. Okay. But the back part is easier if I use my scissors. So I'm going to use multiple techniques here. Similarly, here, cutting it off, and here, let me bring it up. Maybe you might not be able to see me cutting, but I'll show you after I cut. Look. Okay, after I cut, can you see that? So this one, glue on, glue on, glue on, glue on. Okay. Wherever I glue on, I will take a piece of clean paper. Okay. A paper like this, just unwanted paper lah. Okay. Why? Because I make sure that I don't smudge my artwork. Okay. I'm gonna place it like this. And since I have stains of glue here, I better move it around. Or not, later I will smudge the glue at the bottom, which is very more precious. Okay, because this is the white area we're going to photo shoot. Here. A little bit smudged, still fine. I'm not going to be very clean because this is hidden inside anyway. Is for me to press on. Just make sure you don't smash the glue. Okay, press on. Yeah. So I have the full mock-up. Okay, now I'm going to fold it. Okay, this corner, this one I press up so that you can see. Actually it's going to cover, but I'm pressing it upwards to show you. Here, and then this one go in. Okay, I'm going to push this to the corner here, make sure it's nice. Okay, sometimes you might need to check it up the size a bit. You see, here is like extra bulky, isn't it? So meaning this part is too long. This part is too long, so I'm going to use my ruler and fold a little bit inwards. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, mock-up, paper mock-up is hand craftsmanship. Okay, so 1-2 mm also makes a big different, you know. Okay, so now that side, I'm going to try this side. Okay, so again you're going to try to feel whether the size is correct. Okay, this one feels nice, just nice and intact when I push it in. Okay, now I'm just going to hold it, it will release. Okay, but until I cover this, it will be locked. Okay, so I will also test out this side. Okay, whether it is nice. Okay, this one seems tight. Okay, this one seems a bit too long. Can you feel like, you know, when I fold it downward, it's like extra space. So this one also too long. So that's how I kind of like feel and measure and, you know, improve the mockup. Because sometimes when we score and we fold, it's not very accurate. It's not very accurate, that's why we need to measure a little bit. So you see 1-2 mm different here. Okay, so now I'm ready. Okay, so this comes a bit tricky here, here. Okay, put this in. Okay, here, put this in, and this has to go inward, and you will see it locks. It will help to lock it. So that's why I mentioned just now, we need this additional flap, this part. This is the alteration. Sometimes I ask some of the students to add also, because this one will make it auto lock like that. Okay, so let me fix the inner. Yes, looks like a perfect box. So yep, it depends on perfect cut and perfect fold. Okay, fold with scoring. Okay, cut sharp blade. All right, single stroke. Yep, very nice box. So now you can see at the bottom, you can see the fold, and you can still see the 98% very ugly, right? Okay, so generally most of the people will have another piece there inside. So that is why, can you remember, I add one more bottom shape here. Just gonna cut it up, but I'm gonna cut it a few mm smaller lah, like this manually. I see lah, a few mm, because this is slightly smaller, if not it cannot go in. Okay, so just a few mm smaller. Few mm smaller, so that it will just go in nicely. You're not cutting at the perfect size lah. Okay, this piece will hide all the folding and the 98%. Yep, looks like can fit nicely. Okay, looks good. Okay, if it doesn't fit nicely, then it means you need to cut a few more mm smaller. Thin line like that. Okay. Yes, you can do this by cutting a few mm smaller, and you get a small piece like this if you have a nice sharp blade like that. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. Nice. Okay, so next part, I'm going to put that aside, is the sleeve. Okay, I cut this already, but I want to show you how I'm going to tile it. Remember I mentioned I need the extra space to paste on for the tape, but you must always remember, for this is the exterior. This is everything else I hide inside. You mean generally at the side you don't see is the page tiling. Of course at the bottom you see it lah. But then again, I mentioned we are not going to photo shoot the bottom, we're just going to photo shoot upright, isn't it? so the sides are all nice. But here, this one is very important. We make sure we don't tile and then we see the tape outside. Okay, so we must hide it. So it will be here. So that's why I write it down as a reminder for myself, tape underneath. Okay, so before I cut anything, remember always scoring. This action is called scoring lah. Scoring means I carve the paper with a blunt object here for easy folding. So that is called scoring lah. Okay. Surely there is this tool you can buy for scoring. There is a scoring tool. It looks kind of like a pencil, then you easy to score. It's a plastic handle lah, that in the shape of a pencil lah. But that is quite costly to buy, so I don't recommend my student to buy anyway. We can get a cheaper substitute like this. It's good enough, and usually I'll just drop it in my pencil box and I can carry it around. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna score the line here later after I paste lah, huh? So this one, okay. So I'm gonna cut away this part. You see this part I also haven't cut yet. Later I'm going to use my scissors for the small edges. Okay, for now I'm going to cut this out, but later I'm going to trim again. Okay, why? Because of my tape. Sometimes you can buy ½ inch, you can buy 1 inch, you can buy 1 cm. So this one is 1 cm, so it's like slightly smaller than the space there. So later after I paste, I'm going to cut it out. But you don't have to modify your FA or your artwork file. This is just for paper mockup lah. Okay. So always remember to have the tape under. Let me score this also, because this will be also a folding area. Okay. So now I know this will be the extra area for the tape that's going to go there. Okay, tape inside, so that outside we don't really see the tiling. Okay. So here. Okay. So I can see my scoring line lah, so that's how I know where to put my tape. Okay, very light, gentle cut. Okay. Get it right? Yep. It's here. So I don't need that extra. Alright. So this is where I'm gonna cut it off. And cut off the area that the tape doesn't cover. If you don't cut it off, then it will be loose and then easily open up. Okay, so here, the extra one, I'm going to cut it off. So tape under, so it's to remind me, tape underneath. Okay, same thing, tear a little bit before we tear everything. Okay, here. A little, okay, measure, positioning. Yep, this looks good. Press, tear up the rest, press. Okay, so down at the fold. So once you fold, you don't quite notice that it's dulling. Okay, if you suddenly dull a very big line here, then you can see very obvious that it's dulling. Okay, then this is the fold. This is the fold. Yep, another scoring there. Here I'm going to score slightly up a bit, okay, because if it's too accurate, then the sleeve looks like too small. Okay. So I'm going to score slightly upward. Okay, maybe here. Okay, so I'm going to fold slightly a little bit, 1 or 2 mm more. Okay, if you can see the difference. Okay, of course I haven't cut this yet because I'm gonna place my tape. Okay, so easy for me to cut. Okay, across. I put it across so that it's easier for me to do my job rather than tape 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? This one I don't want to cut first. Okay, tape, you must always be straight. Okay, so when I paste, you will notice I paste outside. I paste outside, I paste it a little bit on my cutting mat. Then the position is fixed. Then when I drag, I will show it is straight line. Okay, then push it at the center, push it at the bottom. So my tape is clean and nice, no crumple. Okay, so of course extra, get the scissors and cut it off. Okay, this is the area that I'm going to cut off too. Remember the triangle that we placed in our die line time. So once I cut that away, you will see these small pieces. So I'm taping it one long stretch instead of taping 4 times lah. And if you see here, I will need to also cut the extra tape. Okay, wait. Let me finish this one first. Okay, you have a look. Now I cut this area away. Cut this area away using scissors. Easy. So that I have it, but I have this area that the tape doesn't touch. Yes, I need to cut that off as well. Yeah, this extra area that I cut it off so that when I tape it, it is a nice clean taping or gluing. Okay, like I mentioned, if there is an area that doesn't covered by tape, it will come up, okay, fall off. So like I mentioned just now, my tape is 1 cm. Okay, so have to cut it down to 1 cm for the mockup. So this is the one. Alright, I'm not gonna paste this one first. Later I also have to put a tape here, you know, for this. But I'm gonna do that last because I also want to measure if it fits. Okay, so that will be last. So this corner will be the last lah. Okay, so I'm gonna start from here. Alright, same, you can do this. Okay, take a little bit. Once you feel, press nicely, take it out. Okay. Okay. Oops, I think part of the tape needed open. I have to take out part of the tape here. That broke halfway just now. So once the tape is covered nicely, right? See, it is nice and tight. So get a good quality double-sided tape. Stick very firmly. Okay. Don't buy a lower grade tape. Okay. Because sometimes I bought a tape and I tape and then 5 minutes later it come up. Okay. So that's not a very good tape. Some patience. I'm going to finish this up. Okay, I did mention that I'm not going to do much here first, right? So here I'm going to open up a little. Okay, later this one will go in. Alright, so I'm not going to press all the way through for this part. Maybe I'm going to take a small piece here. Okay. Firm and nice. Okay, they are not coming up. Okay, this part. Not fully. Okay. So this part later we can still do some adjustment. Alright. Then here, see the place where I tile, but it's also the flow line. Here, when I need to do this, and I put it inside here. Okay, so I haven't put tape yet, but I just want to try it out to see the measurement works or not. So there it goes. Voila, nice. Okay, you can see a little loose. So here when I paste, I can paste it tighter. Right. Look looks good. Okay, so here my final step, tape. Okay, so you can see the extra area where the tip come out. So cut it off. Okay. Small area, use scissors, cut it off. Okay, I'm gonna take out part of the tape. Take out part of the tape. Okay, I'm sliding it in between this area of the double side tape earlier I had. Line a little. Yep, looks okay. Press. Pull the tape up. There you go. And I do have the small tape just now. You see where I tell? You don't really see. Okay, so that's a nice mockup. And this goes. Okay, so why I have the edges here double layer? So later easy when we pull in and pull up, this is the area we're gonna touch a lot. Okay, that's why double layer makes it feel better, okay, than a single layer. Alright, so I'm gonna get the tea bags. This was the tea that I used as my sample tea that I have at home, but I don't have all the 30 sachet lah, but just to show you how I intended to put it in, like that. Okay. I don't have enough 30 packs, so it's not gonna fill up all, but this is the idea lah. I have it in the size that I mentioned just now. I only have about 20 packs here. Okay, so yep, it's easy to take in and out. That's why you need the extra space that I measured earlier. You know, seems fine, perfect. Okay, yep, so that's all for this paper mocha. I'm going to take this out for photo shooting. So see you at next part 4.